Hey, it's Michael from the michaelangelocaruso.com website, also the Present Like a Pro group on Facebook, and I want to share a fantastic strategy for coming up with content almost instantaneously. A lot of presenters struggle with this. They unfortunately wait too long to start their presentation, and then it's the night before and they're staring at that blank sheet of paper trying to figure things out, and it just never works out that way. So I want to give you a couple of guidelines that have really worked for me through the years. The first is that you have to have amazing source content, right? It can't be a joke that someone emailed you, because if they emailed you, then it emailed everybody else in the free world, and everybody's heard the same joke. So the source content can't be derivative, it can't be common knowledge, it can't be something that's already in circulation. It has to be unusual material. Right? So the unusual material could be like something that happened to you back yesterday, but it could also be something that happened to you 17 or 18 years ago, right? It's still source content. The thing is that your brain, your antenna, or your radar in your brain has to be able to pick this stuff up and access it all the time, right? Which leads me to the second strategy, and that is you have to be able to connect the dots. So just remembering that something happened 22 years ago involving you and a friend may not be enough to actually get it into your presentation. You have to be able to connect the dots. Oh wait, yeah, that happened with my pal, and I can use that on next Thursday's presentation. That is an art form, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to connect those dots and make that happen. Finally, the most important thing that I do to generate content, and I am prolific on the YouTube channel, in my blog, at my website, and just the new content that comes out all the time in my talks. This last piece is really, really important, and that is you must spend time with the material. And what I mean by that is, I'll use an analogy. If you were working in the garden, and the garden had, say, a thin layer of weeds, a thin covering of weeds, and let's say you decided to mitigate the weeds by going in with a shovel and turning over the dirt, right? You're all familiar with this exercise. Even if you don't garden, you know exactly what I'm talking about. In fact, it's because of this you don't garden the weeds, right? So if you just took a spade full of dirt and turned it over, it wouldn't be enough to get the job done. I mean, just imagine what you're seeing. The weeds are still there, they're poking out, the weeds are just going to continue to grow. Now they're just going to grow on an angle, right? So everybody knows the strategy in the garden is you take that spade of dirt, you turn it over, and then you slice it, right? And then you dig in again and you take that same bunch of dirt, you turn it over one more time, and maybe even slice it the other way this time. This breaks up the clods of dirt, chops up the weeds, gives your garden a chance to be fresh and new again, right? And it's because you spent that extra time. Just in that little example that I did, there were 3 shovels of dirt. It was the same dirt, but 3 shovels, and then the chopping process to break the dirt down. So it's quite a bit more time than just what most people do, is they turn the dirt over quickly. And that's how it works when you're creating content. Most people that have an idea for a speech, they don't spend that much time on it. And when I came up through the music business, we had the same criticism of a lot of songwriters that or even comedians on stage, right, stand-ups, that you could have hung in there a little bit longer and worked the material a little bit longer and cultivated a more nutritious offering for your audience. So these are the 3 ideas that I'd like you to think about. The first one is this idea of being attuned to source content, past, present, and future. Then this idea of being able to connect the dots between the source content or the lesson learned and whatever it is you're trying to teach other people. And then finally spend time with that content, turn the dirt over, work it over and over, look at it from the bottom, look at it from the sides, and see what you can do to whip it into elite presentation space. More ideas, ongoing ideas, in my blog, on the Present Like a Pro group in Facebook, and of course, in these videos on YouTube. Thanks very much, everybody. We'll see you soon. Good luck on the speaking circuit. Tekoya.